What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Alright, so we'll see how this game finishes out here. Continuing on with my, of course, analysis of 2020 and my plans moving forward as far as my YouTube channel is concerned and my personal life as well, and just analyzing different things that happened throughout 2020. So, I have come to a major realization because my plan going into 2020 was that I was going to get a full-time job, save up money for the rest of the year, and then towards the beginning of 2021, towards the beginning of this year that's about to happen very shortly here, I was going to move out on my own and get an apartment somewhere and see how that goes. So that was going to be my plan for 2020, but obviously due to the coronavirus that didn't happen. I ended up not getting a full-time job. I ended up working at the restaurant, which again I still think was the smart move, because again, better to have some job than no job at all, because yeah, finding a job during the pandemic would have been extremely difficult. So yeah, just worked in mysterious ways, but kind of made me realize something. It made me realize that here at my dad's house, I have been gifted a golden opportunity that I need to take advantage of. And I need to show patience. Because I'm going to be honest, I've just been way too eager to just get out of my dad's house and move on. But I realized that patience may actually pay off here, because again, like I said, I've been gifted a golden opportunity at my dad's house because my dad is not charging me any rent at all. So if I am patient, it may pay off. Now let me explain. If I don't move out right away, if I decide to live with my dad for a few more years, keep in mind I don't have to pay any rent. Even if I stayed working at the restaurant that I'm at right now, I could still save up a decent amount of money, maybe even enough to buy myself a house. So, rather than just spending a year saving up money, and then, that way I have a cash safety net for when I move out and get an apartment, rather than doing that, I'm starting to think that maybe it would be smarter if I stay living with my dad for a few more years, which, gonna be honest, not really looking forward to, but it is what it is. So if I stay living with my dad for a few more years, and I get really serious with saving up my money, I may actually be able to save up enough money to buy myself a house, which has always been my end game. My end game in life has always been to own my own house. And I realize that if I move out after just a year of saving up money and get an apartment somewhere, it's going to take me a long-ass time to save up for a house. Because I'm going to have to pay for rent every month, I'm going to have to pay for food every month, all that shit. But if I stay with my dad for a few years, I may be able to buy up a house somewhere. Granted, it's probably not going to be a great house, don't get me wrong. But all I need is functional. I don't need a great house. I don't need a big fancy mansion or any of that bullshit. Fuck that. Even if the house is a little bit dilapidated, even if it's run down a little bit, so long as everything's functional, I don't really care. Yeah, it may not be painted very well or whatever. It may have scrapes and even holes in the wall or whatever. But if it's functional, if the house is standing, then who cares? So long as I got a roof over my head and everything works properly as far as electricity and shit's concerned, plumbing, all that shit, then who cares if the house is a little bit dilapidated? So even if I buy up a house that maybe needs a little bit of fixing up here or there, if I could buy a house pretty cheap, and again, probably a small house, maybe like a 2-bedroom house, literally. That's all I need. I'm one guy, right? I don't need a whole lot. I don't plan on having a girlfriend or getting married anytime soon, Plus, my chances of that happening are not very high, considering I'm not exactly the world's most attractive human being. In fact, quite the opposite. I do not think that I'm very attractive at all. That being said, I think my looks do suit me very well. I feel like they suit my personality very well, but I'm probably not the most attractive guy in the world, and I get that. But it doesn't really matter, because, I mean, that's never been a priority for me anyways, you know, hooking up with someone or whatever. I don't give a shit. Honestly, if I find someone, then cool. If I don't find someone, then cool. Again, don't care one way or the other. You know, so it is what it is at the end of the day. But as my plans are concerned for right now, I do not plan on hooking up with anyone. So it's just me. I don't need a big house. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living room, and a small-ass kitchen. That's all I need. So if I play my cards right and I'm smart about saving up my money and I have to be disciplined over the next few years, and I may or may not get a full-time job. I may stay working at the restaurant, because again, J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, where I live, he's thinking about raising the minimum wage to 15, so my pay keeps going up and up and up over the years. I may be able to make more and more and more and more and more. You know, maybe I'll be able to save up enough for a cheap-ass house somewhere, you know? So I'm starting to think that that's actually a better plan than moving out on my own. It's going to be frustrating, because I'm going to be honest, I want to move out on my own. I want to so badly. You guys have no idea. I want to be able to fucking record videos at midnight like I used to back in the day at my mom's house. I want to be able to do that so badly. You guys have no idea how much I would love to do that. Are you fucking me? God damn it. But at the same time, I feel like as far as my life is concerned, owning a house has always been my dream. It's always been my end game. And if I'm able to save up enough to at least put a massive down payment on a house, if not buy it straight up, because I do not like debt. I like to own everything 100%. You know, I do not like debt. That is why to this day I have $0 worth of debt. 0. Because I do not believe in buying things that I cannot afford. You know, if I can afford something, hell yeah, I'll buy it. But I'm thinking for the next 4 years, I estimate about 4 years, I might be able to buy up a cheap-ass house somewhere. Again, it may be a little bit run down. It may not be super great. But so long as it's functional, that's all I need. Again, I'm a very humble person. I do not need some big mansion somewhere, some fancy house. Fuck that, man. I need something that's functional, that's got a roof over my head, that's got electricity that works. I don't even care if the heating and cooling works. I don't even care, to be honest, because, you know what? If it's cold in winter, put a fucking jacket on. You know, I don't care. Or, you know, if the house has a fireplace, fuck it, you know? Get a fucking... cut down some logs or some shit and fucking build a fire, you know? Fuck it. Again, you know, I'm a very simple guy. I don't need a whole lot of stuff, you know, besides video games and video game systems. Because, you know, again, that's coming from the guy who has literally, like, no shit, like 9 video game systems and over 400 games. Or, sorry, actually 500 games by now. Granted, but I'm starting to think that that's going to be my new plan over the next 4 years. I'm really going to focus on saving up money after this year is over. Granted, there's still a few more purchases I wish to make this year. But yeah, just that I feel like is a much smarter plan. It will result in a better end game. Because if I move out on my own and get an apartment, I may be living in apartments the rest of my life. I may never be able to save up enough money to buy a house. Which, I mean, that in and of itself is fine, you know. I wouldn't really have a problem with living in an apartment the rest of my life. I wouldn't care, you know. If I'm out on my own, I mean, that's fine, you know. Still a roof over your head. But there's not as much freedom there as owning your own house. And my dream has always been to own my own house. That's always been the end game, as I like to call it. And I feel like if I'm patient here, I may actually be able to reach my end game a lot quicker. If I can have my own house in my late 20s, early 30s, That's pretty fucking good. You know, granted, I'd have to find a job once I move out, but, you know, if I'm able to buy my own house by my early 30s or late 20s, that's pretty fucking good. You know? Just saying, that's pretty fucking awesome. So, I'm starting to think that that may be a smarter plan, but here's the downside to that plan, at least for my YouTube channel. I'm not going to be able to buy nearly as many brand new games to show off for you guys. Granted, I will always add video games to my collection. I will still always do that. There's ways to buy video games and save up money at the same time, which actually I was extremely smart with that during the pandemic. I was able to continually buy new games and save up enough money to get a car. So there are ways to buy video games consistently while still saving up money. You just have to be smart with how you make your purchases, and you have to time your purchases correctly and not buy a whole bunch of shit at once. You just have to space out your purchases while saving up money at the same time. So there's a smart way to do it. So I just feel like in the long run, if I wait it out, save up money here at my dad's house for the next 4 years or so, I may actually have enough to put at least a massive down payment, if not just straight up buy a house somewhere. And there are places where houses are pretty cheap. You know, there are also some places, like I've been looking seriously at Tennessee, because there's no, like, property tax, I believe. I might be mistaken on that. I know there's no, like, state income tax, which is fucking legit. I know there's not as many job opportunities there, but still, if you live in one of, like, the suburbs of, you know, like, Nashville or something, there's still a lot of opportunity there. And property prices are a lot cheaper in somewhere like Tennessee rather than, like, Illinois, where I live here, where the taxes are butt fucking crazy. So it might not be such a crazy idea to wait for a few more years, live at my dad's house for a few more years, which I know is a bit of a drag because I'm like in my 20s, you know, it feels like I should be out on my own by now, but I feel like it's actually a smart move. It's little bit frustrating because, again, I really want to move out on my own. I want to so badly. But I feel like if I'm just patient and just bide my time and be smart and save up money, I'll be able to make my dream a reality sooner than if I were to just jump the gun and move out into an apartment somewhere. I feel like that's the smart move to do, is just to be patient and wait it out. So I feel like that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to wait it out and see what happens. This next year is kind of going to be my litmus test, I feel like. I want to see how much money I can save up. Hope like hell nothing goes majorly wrong with my car, of course. Hope I don't have too many other expenses. Try not to incur as many expenses as I can avoid. You know, if I can avoid incurring expenses, I will. We'll see how that plan goes. I'm not entirely sure how it'll go, but this next year will kind of be my litmus test to see how much money I can save up and if I can really think about making this a reality, because I think it's possible. I really do. I think that I have a shot at making this happen. But I just need to be smart about how I go about things. Like whenever someone needs a shift covered at work, boom, I got to cover it because I need money. You know, I need money. Money is always the key. You know, you got to have enough money in order to get shit done. And I am no stranger to hard work. I am willing to work hard to make this happen because it's a dream that I have had for so long, and it's a dream that I believe in. I want my freedom. And the best way to obtain freedom is to have your own house, because you can basically do whatever you want within reason. And I want that so badly. I want my freedom so badly. So, I'm going to work towards making that dream a reality. So that's how I'm switching up my plan. Because, again, my original plan was to, after a year of saving up money, go and get an apartment somewhere and be on my own finally. Which I still don't think that was a bad plan, but I think this new plan of mine, of just waiting it out at my dad's house, which, again, kind of a drag, but it is what it is. If I wait it out and if I'm just patient and I save up enough money, it may lead to a better end result. And I'm really going to start working towards making that happen. And I think it's a good plan. I mean, you guys can feel free to tell me what you think down in the comment section, but I think it's a good plan moving forward. So that's what I'm going to work with. This next year is going to be a litmus test And after this next year, I'll have a better idea of if I want to continue to pursue this particular idea or if I want to just say, fuck it, move into an apartment or whatever. But I really think I want to go with this new plan of just waiting it out, saving up as much money as I fucking can, looking for a cheap-ass house somewhere, cheap, small house somewhere, buying it, getting a new job wherever that new house may be, and then boom, I'm set. I'm set, theoretically, for the rest of my life. Because I'm perfectly fine with living in one location my entire life. I'm not one of those, like, nomadic people who needs to, like, live in different places or whatever. I'm totally fine with planting my roots and staying there for the rest of my life. Because just owning a house to me, just, you know, owning my own land, being able to come home to my own kingdom, so to speak, just sounds so freaking cool, man. I want that so badly. So badly. But I just need to be patient these next few years. It's going to suck, honestly, these next few years. I have a feeling it's going to be a drag. It's going to suck. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I feel like if I'm patient and I just save up money, that it will pay off big time in the long run. And that's what I'm hoping for. That is what I'm hoping for. So that's my new plan moving forward. The only downside is that I may not have as many new games to show off for you guys throughout the next years, which is not that big of a deal because, again, I already have, like, literally over 500 games. So you guys have nothing to worry about because I'm not going to run out of content to produce for you guys anytime soon. You guys have nothing to worry about whatsoever. I am, again, literally surrounded by video games like every day of my life. I am not going to run out of content to produce for you guys anytime soon. You guys have nothing to worry about as far as that is concerned. So no worries there. Again, I have so many games, so many different storyline-based games especially, you know, playthrough projects that I have to work on. Trust me, you guys, I am not going to run out of content to produce for you guys anytime soon. You have my word on that. I'm certainly not going to run out of content to produce for you guys anytime soon, so no worries there. There will always be awesome content to be had on this YouTube channel. You can be damn sure of that. All right. Well, either way, folks, that is going to be it for this one, so stay tuned as I continue on telling you guys about my analysis of 2020, my plans moving forward as far as this YouTube channel and my personal life, different events that have happened throughout 2020 and on this YouTube channel and shit like that. My overall analysis and shit, more to come, so stay tuned. And until next time, peace out.